watching 8 News Now at 6:30.
Today, we found out the Golden Knights schedule for the 2018-2019 season. We have all of that on LasVegasNow.com and on Facebook. Right now, though, I'm joined by Las Vegas Weekly sports writer Jesse Granger to talk about the team's incredible inaugural season, as well as a look at what we can expect next year. Jesse, thanks for being back with us. And let's start with really the impact off the rink in the community. Talk a little bit about what you covered in your article with the team's impact.
Yeah, I mean, I think the lasting impression of this season, as good as they did on the ice, is going to be what they did for this community. And we've gone over the tragedy and how they helped the community in that so many times. But I think aside from that, just giving people in Las Vegas an identity that's something other than gambling and the Strip. I always use the example when I flew back in from Winnipeg, every plane that flies into Vegas makes the welcome to lost wages joke or some type of joke about how you're going to gamble or party. Well, when we landed from Winnipeg, they said, welcome to Las Vegas, home of our Vegas Golden Knights. Everyone cheered on the plane. I feel like just giving people in Vegas an identity other than the Strip was something that they did.
That is a wonderful anecdote to share, because that is really true, and it's something new and something long overdue. Well put. Let's get over to free agency, some of the nuts and bolts in terms of Neal and Perron. Well, what about that needs to happen, and talk about some of the players they could potentially lose?
So they've got 4 UFAs, unrestricted free agents, that can leave open free agency. That's James Neal, David Perron, Luca Sbisa, and Ryan Reeves. The 2 big ones are obviously David Perron and James Neal, 2 of the top 5 scorers on the team, and they may lose both. They may lose one. I doubt they'll keep both. It's just going to come down to how long of a deal do they want to give these guys. James Neal is hitting the wrong age of 30. This is probably his last chance to sign a really big contract, make a big chunk of change for his career. And I don't know if the Golden Knights are the team to give him a long 7-6-year deal. Maybe they want to give him a lot of money, but only 2 or 3 years. So it's going to be up to James Neal. How long does he want to stay in Vegas? I know he likes it here. He's told me he wants to stay, and same with David Perron. We'll see how they work out.
Hard to have a crystal ball, but what do you foresee if they lose one or both?
Well, the good thing is they've got young guys that are stepping up. We saw Alex Tuch throughout the year, kept improving. He moved up to that second line at the end of the year. If you lose David Perron or James Neal, I think Alex Tuch is ready to step into that role. If you lose both, now maybe you want to bring somebody else in. But I do think that they've got the young pieces and they're building to kind of promote from within.
Let's go over to Wild Bill. Big night for him last night with a well-deserved trophy. Talk about the importance of keeping him in Vegas for the long run.
Yeah, unlike those guys, they're not in the risk of losing him this offseason. He's a restricted free agent, meaning they have him until next year. But you want to sign him as soon as you can, because if you wait until next offseason when he's an unrestricted free agent, now you've got other teams bidding against you. All of a sudden, that price tag goes way up. If they can lock him into a long-term deal now, you can get him for a little cheaper. You can get him for a long term, and I don't see his production going anywhere. Obviously, this was a huge spike to go from 6 goals last year to 43 this year. You don't want to give him too much money. You want to be a little careful to leave yourself some room, but I think you lock him up. He plays defense so well. There are so many things that even if the scoring isn't quite at 43 goals, he's still worth the money.
Yeah, hard to believe that transition from 1 year to 3rd in the NHL in scoring. Absolutely incredible. Rookie development camp runs through June 26th and to the 30th, to the end of the month. Talk about what players really looking for and keeping an eye on.
Yeah, it's some guys that fans haven't been able to see for a while. We're so used to seeing the same faces, but you're going to see Cody Glass, the number 6 pick last year, Nick Suzuki, Brandstrom, Jake Lecision, and Nick Hag, a bunch of really top prospects that maybe next year, maybe the year after that, are going to be the star players for this Golden Knights team. Your only chance to see them is at development camp. They're not going to be playing in any games. They won't be at training camp, so go to City National Arena, see these young kids. They're still only about 18 years old. A couple of them are 19, but they have really bright futures, and I, for one, am excited to see. I watched them last year at the Ice Center. It's been a year since I've seen them. I'm excited to see how they've progressed.
These could be the household names of tomorrow, at least in Las Vegas households. Thanks for your time. And you can read more about the Knights in this week's Las Vegas Weekly on newsstands right now online. Thanks so much, Jesse. Back in a few minutes on 8 News Now.